Hello audiophiles, welcome back to Anadialogue, the dialogue on analog music reproduction. And today we are indeed going to focus on our analog reproduction of music of a special album. Actually, we're going to take a deep dive and compare the album from the White Stripes, Elephant, 2003, the LP, the CD, and the reel-to-reel. Let's go. Okay guys, so clearly the focus of this video is this baby right over here. Yes, the tapes. Something different from acoustic sounds, because we know good old Chad Kasim is usually focused on classical music, blues, and jazz, and I perfectly understand. And this time he wanted to do something different, something a little more rock. And this, I must admit, is an excellent choice because it is one of my favorite rock albums. Actually, one of the last bands doing real, true, fantastic, juicy rock, which unfortunately then blended off, and now it's not there anymore. I do like what Jack White is doing, but not as much as this stuff here. So, I want to show you very briefly the contents of this, give a little bit of specs, and then we'll jump in immediately trying to do a comparison with the LP version and the CD version. And then I'll give you my final take on the overall impression of all this stuff. Okay, let's start. Okay, so this is part of the Ultra Tape series from Acoustic Sounds, meaning Analogue Productions. As always, very beautiful edition. Not extremely rich like other amazing editions we can find around, but that keeps the price a little lower in respect to other releases, and I appreciate that, so no question. Although, as we all know, these are expensive. I mean, this goes for $500, you know that. So that's unfortunately the reality of producing this type of medium with this quality and paying the royalties and everything that is behind it. The tape itself is very expensive. I went in depth on all these aspects in other videos. You'll find a few links on other reel-to-reel reviews I did, okay? Here is one. Let's start from, let's say, the prior Analogue Productions tape I took a look at with Norah Jones. Okay, so let's see. Very similarly to that one, to that other edition I just mentioned, we have a nice cardboard box and two separate tapes, reproducing also the front of the master tape. That's very nice. Not extremely high quality, but it is the front of the master tape. Clearly we have side A and side B, which I'll show you in a sec. Let's get some space over here. Then we have some inlets. Clearly, it's the artwork that you also found in the CD and the LP, even though it's slightly different actually, because this picture with Meg in black is actually something connected to this reissue, okay? The original picture, as we will see on the CD, because I have the original CD, has Meg on the other side with a white dress. So, lyrics, obviously artwork, almost like the LP. Maybe actually it's identical, I think. Plus a little bit of instructions how to take care of your precious reel-to-reel tapes. This is SM 900 from Recording the Masters tape. It has a beautiful metal spool, 15 inch per second, CCIR equalization, also known as IEC. And what else can I say? I mean, fantastic edition, beautiful. It has all the bells and whistles you would think of, even though, once again, not as rich, like for example, a dedicated booklet or the special golden serial number or things like that. But I don't think we need that in the end, okay? I think we need a good release, good sounding release, and a decent cover, which is achieved here. Absolutely. I like it a lot. So let's just put this here, okay? And now that we did the unboxing, we can start to do our comparison. And afterwards, I'll give you my full impression on the tape itself, okay? But first, I want you to listen the different tracks, and also going to show you some spec afterwards. Okay, so let's start immediately, actually, from, I would say, the lowest in resolution, which is, and a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but maybe in the end you will, with the CD. Now, this is the original 2003 edition. I got it when it came out on CD. This time I decided not to rip the file, but actually capture it like I captured my LP version and also the reel-to-reel through my system and the Lyra 2 or Lyra 2 Prism converter. Very high quality, okay? So at that point, plus if you want to know the rest of my system, actually I just did a room tour in my prior video. Here is a link, so at that point you can have a better idea of what else I'm using along the chain. So let's try to hear to this, and afterwards we'll proceed with the other two media. Let's go. Okay, you will find the files for download here below in the video description, because here clearly YouTube is going to compress a lot everything. I always forget to say this before the listening. So remember, everything is 24-bit 96K kilohertz, okay? Including this recording. In any case, the tracks are going to be that way. Also, the ones I'm putting on YouTube, but clearly, once again, YouTube is going to compress. And also, I did a loudness normalization of all three, clearly, because they're going to have different volumes, different dynamics. That's what we're interesting, actually. So, for the purpose of listening, I will do that. And I want to say that something that put me a little off at a certain point, because the right channel of this recording is slightly lower. The volume is lower. At first I thought it was a problem with the machine, but every version has it. Some less, some more. You will see afterwards the sound wave. We're going to take a look. So there is this, I don't know what happened. Maybe it's something they wanted. Maybe the left channel had just a little more volume because some instruments were there. Don't know, mystery. Strange, because usually when you master, you just have to increase about like 2 or 3 dB, not even, and you have the same output. But they decided to keep it that way. And I'm sure the tape is a faithful reproduction of the master. Okay, let's proceed now with our second version, the one on vinyl. This is not the original. This is the reissue, but is 100% analog, cut from the original master tapes from what I understood, Bernie Grudman. So once again, as you can see, it has Meg in black on the left. Very nice edition. I was a little disappointed because the vinyl, at least this copy I have, is a little noisy. Wasn't that pleased. Other comments are coming up. Let's listen to the first track also of this. Let's go. Okay, guys, let's take a look now here at the sound wave of all three of these medium, the rips I did, the conversions. Once again, I want to say that I did not rip the file from the CD. I played it and ripped the analog signal coming from the converter, which I used to convert it back to digital, because clearly when you do these things, I'm using an analog to digital converter. So we have something a little more on the same level at that point. And as you can see, it is clear how the CD is almost brick-walled. I mean, not completely. There is still a lot of dynamics, but there's been a hard limit there, up and down. So we're losing a lot. So I'm starting to answer when people say, but no, digital is perfect. Maybe it is. It could have been, like I said in the video. Here is a link. Check it out. But the mastering, unfortunately, plus other stuff. But let's just say the mastering isn't. It's actually the worst. And Thank God we have analog media. So apart from all the analog and digital dispute, let's just say that, as you can see in this example, the analog media has much more dynamics. Much more well preserved. And this is a rip coming from the same stuff. So no question about it. And I think your ears are telling you the same thing. So as you can see, CD, nice and flat. LP, I was expecting a little more, but there are some peaks coming out. There is a more softer mastering. Although, I don't know if you noticed, there was a lot of sibilance. I was shocked. I mean, something happened there. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's my copy, but I doubt it. I mean, that's a specific frequency there. The voice of Jack, when he pronounces S's, there is extremely piercing and disturbing. I mean, annoying, terrible. So, in fact, the LP, in my opinion, is quite bad. So actually, maybe the CD, even though it has less dynamics, it's a little more clear, it's a little more neat, because this is something maybe I should have said in the beginning. This is not an audiophile record. This is actually considered almost as a lo-fi type of record, to have that nice and dirty sound. That's what Jack and Meg were looking for, the White Stripes. So no problem there. It's probably not even the best record ensemble comparison to do, actually, but we want to understand the sound of the tape, and we need some comparisons, also to have an idea of the different editions. So that's what's happening here and here. And as you can see on the bottom, we have the tape, which I would say obviously has much more dynamics. You just have to take a look at the peaks and valleys. Wow, baby. Nevertheless, I can see from that we're not having something coming from a session tape, okay? This is a master tape that has been well processed, okay? A lot already. Even the sound is compressed. It is quite processed, unfortunately. I think a softer remaster, complete true remaster from the session tapes could bring even more benefit. So my opinion on the sonics of the tape is the following. Certainly the best overall, especially I would say the lower frequency. I mean, the bass is incredible, to die for. Fantastic. Analog really knows how to recreate those frequencies, and digital is always suffering there. The LP is good. Better than the CD, I think. You can sense that clearly, but it's not, I don't know, it's a little smeared, and maybe it's this edition simply, I'm not sure. In any case, this is very full, rich, and nice and pounding, and very precise. Toom, toom, toom. I love that. And everything is much more detailed. His voice and the other instruments, you can just feel, for what this recording is, just more details, the tones, the timbre of the different instruments. Even though we're talking about electric instruments and the drums, you just sense more detail there, a richer delivering of the entire scenario, I think, at least. I'm not going to go much more further in the description, because that's it. I mean, it's not, once again, an audiophile recording where you can sense other things or special kind of instruments with harmonics. No, it's straightforward, and I'm talking only of one track. Other tracks maybe could offer a little more further info, a little more insight. In any case, this is my opinion, and I do think this is an excellent, the best edition, actually. Not incredible, not amazing, but I think that the original master isn't actually that amazing. But if you have the money and you want to choose one, I would say it's pretty clear. In any case, apart from my opinion, I want to know yours. So please listen with good headphones, or download everything and listen it through your system. The files I'm putting here below in the video description, and let me know your comments. I'm interested, you know that. What else can I say? Thank you again for watching, and remember that music is born analog. Well, guys, if you're enjoying my videos and you're enjoying my channel,
please consider to subscribe by clicking the black and white logo here below. Also, don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll never miss an episode and you will become a true member of the Analogue community.